All right. Well, if you made it this far, you made it to part two. And in this part, what we're going to discuss is we're going to discuss other stocks that you may be interested in to continue going if you're looking to keep this and also be interested in investing. Um, that's about as basic as it gets. So the rest of it's kind of long, a little bit more technical. But if this is something that you're interested in and you want to save, long term, you want to be in the market, here's some suggestions, right? And these are all just suggestions. Some and a lot of it I have taken on personally and have not regretted it. What I did personally with WeBull is I turned $50 into, well, right now it's 200, but it was 250. I just didn't sell in time, but I'm getting ready to jump back in the market today with all these things. What did I do? I bought Hut. That's all I did. Um, and if you don't know what Hut is, okay, so to me, what the lasting or what the new thing is with the economy is, of course, crypto, right? That's going to be the brand new thing for the economy. So Hut launched not too long ago. They, I guess, have been mining for quite some time, but they just finally launched as a public company, and they mine crypto, and their price was really low when it started. I think I jumped in when it was around $4 or something like that. It was around in this area, I want to say, because I remember it going up and it coming back down, and I was like, oh no, it's gonna hit rock bottom, and then it went all the way up, and I was like, oh, this is so good. And then it hit around right around here, 11.29, I think is what the high it got. At that point, I probably had about $250. Um, again, this was just all Hut, and this was all WeBull. Okay, that's the only thing I did. And then it started to fall a little bit, and as it started to fall a little bit, I waited till it got. I think it was right around. No, what was it? What does it say on my phone? Because I want to be right. I want to say it says something like 870 is when I sold. Hold on, let's bring it up something else. Sorry, I'm trying to find this. Markets. To Hut. Okay. I don't know if it's showing me. It says it's at 840 now, but it's showing here it's 848. Oh man, I can't find it. I could have swore I found it earlier. And when I sold and how much it was. Okay, so you can create alerts on here to let you know what price it is, how above it's moving. Let's go to trade. Let me see if I know about it there. It doesn't say. Or at I think it says 856. Either that or that is the price right now, I think. I think that's the price right now. So never mind. What was the price that I sold it at? It was $8 and something. I think I sold it lower than where it's at now. So I may be missing out on a little bit. So what I'm doing is I'm putting a limit price on it. And what was my limit? Okay. Default type order limit. Okay. Including extended hours, which is right now, so that would be morning hours. Shows the bid, the ask, display chart, display subchart. Okay, that just gives you the order options. Well, to be 100% honest, I can't really find out exactly where I sold it at, but wherever I sold it at, it was enough to keep me right at around $200. And with keeping up with crypto over the weekend, even though it does look like Bitcoin kind of took a big dive at one point, it's working its way out. And I think last week we had a big kind of a big red candle. We had a candle that was inside, or basically dipped into I don't know if it was a fair value gap or a breaker. I want to say it was a breaker. Let me go to here to Coinbase so we can see. I use Coinbase as basically my barometer as to what Bitcoin actually is doing. I'm on the 15-minute. Yeah. So this green box that I have right here, that is a monthly fair value gap. That is a monthly fair value gap that happened in May, right? So the top of it was the low in April. The bottom of it was the high in June. And then July, August, it ran through it. And then it came up here sometime in September. And as soon as it hit a weekly order block is when it dropped right around in this area. That's when it dropped. So let me go to the weekly to show you that, because that's probably something a lot of people don't really understand. I know. Oh my notes are everywhere on this. I know. I'm sorry. Here, let me find a different BTC USD then. Here we go. This one's a lot smoother looking. And we're on the weekly, so whenever right here, if we were at a monthly, right, and remember when we came up and we had those 3 big drives that got us all the way up to almost 65 or somewhere around there, and then that was the April high, right? Here's the April low. And it kind of gave it one more push, but it couldn't just get there. And then all of a sudden, boom, it just fell. It just fell. So, but the thing what happened is that it fell to the first monthly fair value gap that was on its way down, right? So it went all the way through. Well, not all, pretty much all the way through. Came out and see, I'm not for sure what it was that was with this area over here that kept it kind of aligned with this area here, but that's exactly what happened. And then after this monthly fair value gap was formed, it decided to retrace again back down in here, come and I think we all remember this area to where we all thought it was probably gonna get below 20,000. We were like, oh no, but it never did happen, thank God. And then right at this time, it just took off. And at that time it took off, what did it do? It filled. See here on the way down, you have the fair value gap on the way down, the monthly fair value gap on the way down. Here, you have green blocks covering the whole way up on the monthly fair value gap. So it should be balanced, but because for some reason it's just not. I don't exactly know why it's not, but it's not. So once you get closer, since here's the weekly, this is the last weekly up candle before the big drop that causes the monthly fair value gap on the way down in May. And so it's that very bottom of that tail. You can see it hits the very bottom of that tail, and then boom, it just drops like a madman that week. And then so the next week it's trying to come up. It probably gets to the button, and it's almost same thing happens on the weekly. It sees the weekly as the order block, boom, falls again. And that was this past week, except for this past week, whenever it dumped down in here was a very special, it was kind of a specific area. It was, I have it in Coinbase, and I'll probably have to get down to the 15-minute of it to even try to understand what that area was. Maybe I'm not really 100% sure on this. But what did happen is that when it was on its way up here, up in this area, is when it hit the bearish order block, the weekly bearish order block. There it was right there. And it was also, here was a daily fair value gap. It may have been a daily breaker. Let's see here. There was just so much going on in this area. Oh yeah, daily breaker, I think. And then we also had a weekly fair value gap. And I think that weekly CE is in the wrong place, but either way, whenever this came up and it hit, I'm going to stretch it and show you. So it hit this box right here. Right, and what was that box? That was, I didn't label it, but that was this right here. So that was this last down move before the up move. Boom, boom. So that would have been your order block, actually. That would have been your weekly order block that it hit. And after it hit the weekly order block, it retraced back, and it looks like it fell down into the monthly order block again, right? And then here we have that last down up move. So that would have been, it looks like a bullish order block. Comes down, hits it, goes through it, and then eventually pushes its way out and up. Comes back up, and then what does it do? Alright, so this is the highest point I think it got recently, which was last week before the big drop, or 2 weeks ago, I should say. Let me see if I can't. And I put hide. I always do that. Okay, there we go. There, it's back now. So if we see as far as that is concerned, that was about halfway through this daily order block. And it gets about 15-minute time frame. It gets it gets above the bottom area here, which is interesting. It comes up into this fair value gap, also this fair value gap here, but it looks like it couldn't just get above this guy right here. This little skinny guy that couldn't make its decision, and it hit that area, and then that's when it decided to fall, which is fine, completely fine. I mean, this is what I'm expecting throughout most of the Bitcoin life cycle, except for every once in a while we're gonna see it jump up, to a different level and whatnot. So, all right. So as it was coming down, looks like it comes down to almost the halfway point. Actually, I don't think that was the halfway point, was it? No, it wasn't. Oh, I don't know. You know what? Let me do a fib here really quick. I'm doing fib on institutional numbers, so I'm doing it at 4100. 4105 is going to be good enough, and we are going to stop at about 4700 because I think that's really, really near the top. 4721 is good enough for me. Okay. Okay, so you can see it just kind of slides along for a couple days. It's inside the monthly fair value gap. Whenever it broke down into it, it didn't really crash it or crash it hard. But I think eventually it does. Okay, so here we get to about the midpoint. And as soon as it looks like it wants to get to the midpoint right here in this area, it wants to take off. And as soon as it tries to escape the fair value gap, the monthly fair value gap, it wouldn't let it. It was like, nope, you have to fill the rest of it. So, keeps it in. We get to the top of it. And there's you can just see the liquidity that's being built above these levels. Because there's so many almost equal levels and it's outside of the monthly fair value gap now. So now you can just see the liquidity being built, which had me believing that it was going to be punching through the top of that very soon, and then here it comes. So right around mid-September, boom, it punches through. Oops, didn't mean to move that. Let me go back and back. Okay. Boom. There it was. It punched through, and as soon as it punched through, what'd it do? It hit an order block. And that was one of the, even though it hit the weekly order block and fell, we can also, that was also about halfway through that, like I said, that daily order block. Maybe that was, because I say the weekly CE, I think that may be a mix-up to I may have accidentally moved that. But this whole purple box here would be the weekly the weekly fair value gap. And CE just means middle, basically. Okay. So where are we at now is the question. And why is this important to Apple? Well, it's important for Apple because a lot of Apple products are their iPhone. What is good about their iPhone? You can buy crypto with it. If they're in, that's what I'm wondering about, like what's going on with El Salvador or whatever. I believe it's El Salvador. Don't kill me, guys. I'm trying to remember everything. Are they using iPhones over there, or are they using track phones? What kind of phones are they using to sell stuff back and forth? But it looks like the big takeaway from this is that China is actually trying to impede on the space, or restrict them. Bitcoin. I'm not exactly 100% sure what China's doing to Apple. They're saying that any kind of DeFi transaction is going to be completely illegal, including Bitcoin. They have their own infrastructure for payments, which is like Alipay, whatever else China uses, for their own inside payments. I don't get them. I really don't. They have the farmers, they have the miners, but they won't let them buy anything with it. Like whatever China's doing is it's really odd and it's not making sense. Okay, so anyways, I drew this earlier because I had felt that the price was going to do exactly that. The funny thing was is that I actually bought in here thinking that the overlap of these two gaps would be the low, and I was wrong. It was like I was completely wrong. It eventually did get up higher, but then fell. I thought the lowest it would get would be, of course, where I drew the yellow box. Why is there a yellow box there? Is because that would be the breaker. So if I click the yellow box, I think I may have it on. Yeah, I have it on. Okay, let me turn it off of lock if I can. I am not for sure. Oh, here we go. Unlock. So if we go over here and we pull it this way just a little bit. All right, I'm going to spread it out just a little bit more so you can see. From the bottom of this green candle to the top of this green candle, that would be your breaker. Why? Because that would be your low, right, to your high, and then back to your low again, right? So that low to high point, that's your breaker. So what does that mean? Since it fell through the bottom of it, right, what did it do when it fell to the bottom of it? Looks like it came down to right here, filled in this fair value gap. I don't think it wants to get back down into this fair value gap. This is I think this is a 1 hour fair value gap I still have laid out just in case it would want to come back down here. But I don't think it's going to. Why? Because it did that 3 times this weekend. I think that was all of this weekend, right? 24th, 5th, yep, 26th. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, dip, and then finally, after we made the third dip past this area here, right around 41,425, it looks like. Boom, it finally took off. And then, all right, so then we finally made a high here. And then again, this is all coming to align with everything that was over here just before the big drop. Right, and this didn't have to do with hitting the weekly order block drop. This just had to do with another completely different drop. Oops. Come on, there we go. Because as you can see, it just kind of free fell. But then once it gets back up over here, you can see there is a 15-minute fair value gap from right here to about right here. I think this was a breaker, or maybe it was another fair value gap. I'm not for sure. But I definitely know I put money in right around here. And I think it's going to get up farther than that. But I thought, right in here, if I would have paid attention a little bit closer, I probably would have got out. I tried to get out at that bearish order block, but instead, I didn't. So I let it fall. Came all the way back down to the discount line. That meeting, well, I should say, so usually when I have a discount line is because it's where the 61.8 is. But this may be a little bit different. This may be a different wave of a discount line. I'm not 100% sure. So it falls to the discounted portion. As soon as it hits that one, which is also still, it's at the very bottom of the breaker. Since it gets to the bottom of the breaker, it looks like all of this is balanced down here. Then boom, it looks like it's going back up again. So I think the start of the week, I don't think we're going to see too much of, to be honest, it could try to act like it's going to pull down. It could consolidate in like a weird area over here for a little bit. But I think eventually we're going to see some higher prices in Bitcoin. And again, this has to do with, the reason I'm showing you this is because, if you're asking me what you want to do with your free WeBull money, or your free, your free WeBull money, because they're going to give you free stocks. Like I said, as soon as you get them, you can sell them. You don't have to hold them at all. That's the best part about it. So what I did is, like I said, I went to Hut, bought Hut, and a crypto mining company. You're good. What other things, if you're asking, that are in this area that you could possibly buy? Well, the good thing is that with WeBull, you can also micro invest. You don't have to buy full portions of the stock. So another one that's cheap right now that I would be looking at would be Can, or Canan, however you want to say it. They are basically the company that builds the computers that mines the crypto. Now, I remember buying this when it was $4 way earlier in the year. And it got up to 20 something, and we were like, whoa, that was crazy. And so whenever it got close to 20 again, we sold it again right after. I'm going to try to go to 4 hours and show you this. we sold it again, probably like around 30, 35. And then it just kept going. And we were like, wait, what just happened? Oh, yeah, it was this. So we bought right around in here, I think. And then we saw it come up and, beat this height and then fall. And we thought that it would possibly happen again. So it was... Oh, no. No, because I remember selling around $20. Because this thing just kept going and going and going one day, and we were just like, what? But we let go too early, that's for sure. That's what it was. Which we were fine with. Hey, we definitely turned a good profit on this. And now that it's back down to this very, very low priced area, I'm happy about this. Why am I happy about this? Because I'm about to jump in this today. Now, there is, let me see here. You can see that this is one of the reasons why we knew it was coming down, is because of that gap. We knew it had to fill that gap. Now, let's take a look down here. Are there any other... There's a small... I don't even know if you'd call that a gap. There's a small little one right there, but other than that, no. So I don't think there's any more gaps to be filled with CAN. So that's a good thing. But with everything else in the news, let me see. Bitcoin miners. Oh, okay. So we got some. We got some competitors around. That's what it was. All right. So, I don't care. I'm still investing in this. Because, again, this is the people that make the computers, and it's not the actual miners. So people are going to buy from CAN to continue mining. Doesn't matter what company it is. Kind of have some equal highs here. How I placed the fib, right? As I've placed the fib right here was 100. Why there? Because you have this little, you have kind of these equal high areas, right? And then it goes down, and then the last low before it takes off and breaks those little equal high areas, that's what I put it as the 100. So it looks like it's, and I may need to move that, to be honest. Because if I do move that, unlock it. Then it's more about at the 88.6%, which is about right. And it's at $6. Again, I don't think we're going to see it this cheap again for a while. Especially if Bitcoin takes off at, towards Q4. This could be a good time to take whatever cheap, whatever it is that WeBull is going to give you, turn around and then buy some CAN with it, because you could get, maybe 1 or 2 shares of CAN, and then all of a sudden this thing could turn into $100 per share. And then it could happen before Christmas, and I'm not even kidding. So just be aware of that, is what I'm gonna say. All right. Here is another one. Just started not too long ago. I am not for sure if you can find this on WeBull though. I haven't looked. I have found this on other places. So, but this is another mining company just started on September 23rd at $15. And right now it's at 1663. So, and I don't see a reason for it to drop. There is two equal kind of lows ish right here. But if anything, it looks like it would kind of just poke through that, hit this as your bullish order. Because to me, it looks like there would be like an invisible drop here. And that would be your bullish order block. So it may be able to just fall really quick and then rebound and come back up. And then who knows, this thing could be $28 before you know it, or $30 before you know it. So another one keep an eye out for, Marathon Patent Group, another mining company. Again, crypto is where everything is going. Unless you want to do you want to bet on the whole healthcare system. I don't. I would rather bet on crypto. So here, the only thing about Marathon Digital Holdings is there is a little bit of a gap in here, but it's not much. But it's enough to where there's these two equal lows, right? So that could be a part, something that would say, hey, this is where support is. This right here is where support is. Hold on, I'm moving this to the front screen because I'm tired of looking at it on the side screen. And plus, my camera's right here so you guys can see me. And I probably just made it really, really big, huh? You know what? Let me take myself off of here because I've probably been in the way. Hold on. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna move this a little bit more to see if I can get it in the screen and with the price in there. Well, for some reason it's not. I just don't see the price. Anyway, Marathon Patent Group. Okay, so I'll just kind of explain it. These two lows right here I was talking about before, those come in around. I'm gonna throw a line on it just right at it or below it. All right, so that comes in right around 26.24. Okay, so now I'm going to put a line on the top of this over here. That comes in around 25.67. Okay, so that's about $1 something difference. Not even $1 something difference. 60 something. I don't want to say 60 cents difference. Okay. But then you also kind of have the same thing just below it. So that's what we got to be watching out for. Is we got to be watching out to see if this is going to try to come down and take out these gaps or not. Or if it's going to ignore those gaps. 95% of all gaps get filled. You got to remember that. So it could be, and maybe that's why whenever it got to 44 here, it decided to start pulling back because it was like, oh crap, there's some gaps back here I forgot to fill in. And then so it couldn't, as you can see, boom, dropped, made a gap in between a day, went down, came up, filled that gap, dropped down again. And then it looks like it kind of had an easy day on Friday there. So I just want to keep an eye out for it. I'm not personally putting anything on Marathon until I see what kind of direction it wants to go. And then we'll find out. All right, another one keeping an eye out for it, I personally would say, would be Riot blockchain. Now, even though with WeBull you can purchase crypto, you really can. You can purchase crypto on WeBull. So if you're one of those people that wants to do crypto and you want to get that free money and use it to purchase crypto, by all means, go ahead. Do your research on the crypto ahead of time. Make sure you know which crypto you're buying, what the case use is, and make sure you've read the white papers, all that good stuff. The one thing I do not know is that if WeBull has wallets for crypto or not. Meaning, I don't know if you can transfer them from where they're at currently in WeBull outside of WeBull to another wallet like Trust Wallet or MetaMask, or if you want to throw it into a centralized exchange or something like that. I just don't know if they have that. So that's why I would say right now, if you're going to focus on something, to look at in Webull, and it's going to be crypto related, I would say check out these things. Now, this is what's interesting right here, though, is that Riot blockchain did have a gap, right? 2630, it looks like it was the bottom of it. I am not for sure if it has hit that yet. It doesn't look like it has hit that yet. So we could have a day to where it may start up, come down, and it may be half a week. It'll hit that 2650 or 2630 or whatever it is. And then after that, gap's closed, boom. Then you might want to think about actually putting money in that, okay? Now, all of this is just opinion. Everything I'm saying here is 100% opinion. Nothing here is actual advice. I am not a licensed broker. I am not a wealth manager. I'm not any of those things. I am just saying things that come from my own experience and my own opinions. So, and lastly, this is an interesting one here. It tried to take off as an ETF, but it's not. But it's Osprey Bitcoin Trust. Okay. And of course it's pretty much relied solely on Bitcoin, even since its inception, which wasn't that long ago. I want to say it was 2018 was when this thing got started. Oh, hold on. This thing says 2005, so maybe it just didn't go anywhere for a very, very long time. It doesn't look like it. Okay, so that's weird. It goes from 04 to 05 to 21. So it picked back up again this year in February. Boom, drops. Wow. I would have hated to have been the people that bought way up there. But I did buy in the 14-ish area. So it is lower than where I want it to be. But there is a gap right here. So that's a good thing, right? I kind of maybe possibly expected it to get that low because there was a little gap in here. Right around the 1288 to 1302 area, there was a little gap. So, but I think I bought like way back here anyway, back in May. So now it's come down and filled in that gap Bitcoin. Let's see what it's doing right now. Boom. Looks like it's wanting to take off, wanting to go up. Okay. So since Bitcoin is wanting to go up, it looks like OBTC could also be wanting to go up. So those are your things that you may want to look at whenever. Again, please. I'm not just saying this just to say it. Download the WeBull app and get anything free that you can. Right? Get at least the 2 free stocks, right? And then maybe throw a little bit of money in there, get your extra stock for free, and then try to convince 3 people. Just 3 people. That's it. Just 3 people. All right. Okay. So what I wanted to do also really quick is I know I didn't realize, geez, this was an hour long. Hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to move the website right now. That is not on the screen. Okay, so, all right, I'm gonna trade over here really quick. So this is the WeBull website. Gives you what they have. All right, so stocks, options, ETFs, cryptos. Let's click login. I wonder if that download actually has a download for like desktop. That's a good question. Okay, well, WeBull, you're signed. Okay, and they're sending something to my email address. Gotcha. Hold on one second. I think I used my main email for this one. Sorry, not my trading email. Maybe not. Jeez. Okay, Google inactive account service at PayPal. Sorry, guys. No, it did say bodies at wix.com. Okay, bodies at xwix.com. This is what I'm checking. I am not 100% sure. It said it was going to send me some verification code. How about sending? Oh, you know what? Maybe it didn't send it at all. There we go. Nope, it didn't. Jeez, I'm an idiot. Okay. 409197. That's a. Uh-oh. I actually don't know the answer to this question. All right, so we're gonna hold off on the website for now. Um, but I think the website would probably just have all the information that the app should have, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and the last thing I wanted to go through was this. All right. That's all I got. Sorry, guys. I know I went way over on this. I just wanted to do a quick thing, to be honest, and be out of here and try to do another one. But if you made it this far, I'm surprised. Um, Download the app, get your free stuff, get 3 people to get their free stuff. That way, you can get a free Apple, right? A free Apple stock, right? Because it's $150, right? That's a lot of money. A lot of money for some people. Um, and then try to convince them to do the same. Do it in 3 to we got 3 days to do this, so I'm gonna release this video as soon as possible. That way you guys can start working on it, and hopefully you guys can help me, you know, as well. All right. So thank you very much for watching, and love you guys. And always remember to keep your pants on.